Hello. This is Beautiful Sunrise back with you to finish the rest of my meal today. Just want to give you a grand look how everything came out. That is the Mexican rice. It is done and it is good. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, look at the right hand corner. It says subscribe in red. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and you'll get more recipes from me. But this is our Mexican rice. I want to show you that before we get started with the fajita bombs. Alright, so let's get started. I showed you a little bit of, I showed you what kind of steaks I have. Sirloin steaks from Walmart. I showed that on the other video here that I had when I was doing the Mexican rice. Okay, so what I have now is I just have a little bit of olive oil because it's more healthier to cook with, and I put about maybe 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and just give you some of the ingredients I like to use for my fajita steaks. You pretty much can use what you feel like you want to use, but these are some of the things I use that combined together gives it a great flavor, and it's really good. I am from New Orleans, so I love seasoning and I love experimenting with new seasoning that I've never heard of. So if I've never heard of it, sometimes I start cooking with it to see how it, adds flavor to my food. Alright, so what we have here, we have cilantro. Cilantro is probably going to be at the very end. I'm just going to shake a little bit on the top of the bombs, the fajita bombs. We have we're going to do a little chili powder. Everything's going to be in just small amounts. I guess I can give you maybe a teaspoon is probably of everything. So we're going to have just a little bit of Tony Sat. Alright, just a little bit of everything to kind of balance everything out. We got a little bit of Tony Sat. I started cooking with this Chicago steak seasoning, and it does add a lot of kick to your steak. Garlic powder, sage. My grandmother taught me to cook with sage. It gives it a good flavor, but don't use a lot because it is a strong seasoning. Parsley, Italian season, just a little bit. Poultry season, just a little bit. Cumin powder, just a little bit. Right there is a little cayenne pepper, onion powder, and rosemary, just a little bit, not a lot. Let me show you my secret. Okay, we have Parmesan Romano cheese. We're going to do a little bit of that because we're going to add other cheeses. So we have the chili powder. Like I said, the cilantro go at the end. Now for veggies, we have bell pepper green, and we have the orange, we have the yellow, we have the red, and we have onions. So that's what we're going to use for veggies. And I would say I got like a half an onion there, maybe a whole bell pepper chopped up, and probably 1/4 of the orange pepper and 1/4 of the yellow and the red. So let's get started. Oh, one ingredient that I like to add just for a little bit of a kick is Worcestershire sauce. I pretty much use Worcestershire sauce on a lot of stuff like chicken, pork chops, steak. It just gives it a great flavor. So I'll come back to you after I get everything seasoned. Alright, so here we are. I am back. Here's all the seasoning. The one thing I haven't put on there yet is the chili powder. So hold on one second. Like I said, that's parsley, which you see the cilantro will go at the end, just shaking it on the top. So let's go ahead and do our little, chili powder. So, like I said before, maybe 1 teaspoon of everything, or not even 1 teaspoon, probably just a little bit of a half a teaspoon. So what I'm going to do, I have the olive oil in here, and like I said, the Worcestershire sauce also gives it a little bit of flavor. And as you've seen, one of my secret ingredients was the Ramada and Parmesan cheese. So let's get started. I turn on the eye to put it on about 7 or 8. Look at that, it looks so good. It smells good too, and it's not even cooked yet. Oh, just one more thing I would like to add with my Mexican rice. Because anytime I use tomato sauce, tomato paste, or anything, I like to do maybe 1 teaspoon of sugar to kind of cut the acidic taste to it. So that's what I did at the end when it was cooking down. I added a little bit of sugar in there, and just a little tad bit of my Cajun seasoning because I like my stuff spicy. So just a little bit, not a lot, because it already has salt and salt that we put in it, and we also put the chicken broth, which has salt in it. So you don't want to put a lot of salt at all. And if you have pressure problems, I would suggest that you just use this, just do the salt that you get. I mean, just use the chicken broth, which has the salt in it, and maybe just a pinch of salt, so you don't overly have too much salt in it. And you also got to remember the tomato paste has salt in it. So if you got pressure problems, you want to cut back on that salt. Now I went on and put the veggies in here with the steak, and the reason why I did that is because of the steak that I buy from Walmart. It doesn't take long to cook it because it's already like almost shredded in a way. So it's great for fajitas, but you don't want the fajita to be cooked too fast, because what we're going to do is we're going to also cook it in the oven when we add it to the fajita wraps, the tortillas. And we just get some plain old tortillas, and then we also the tortilla salt tortilla tacos shells, and then I also have the restaurant style tortilla chips. We're going to also use those in our fajita bombs, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So right now, let's see, all we doing right now is cooking the fajita meat to put in the tortilla shells, and then we're going to put in the oven. So probably going to cook this for another maybe 5 minutes, and when it's like a light brown, or I might just turn off the stove in a little bit and let it finish cooking with the skillet, because we don't want to overcook it and we don't want it to dry out, because we do want it to, we're going to put it in our fajita bombs. And this smells so good. Like I said, it smelled good when I was just shaking seasoning on it, but it really smells good. So as you can see here, and I'm gonna turn off the stove because it's already almost cooked, and I still want that moisture to it. So that's why I said I'm not going to cook it all the way, because it's going to cook the rest of the way in our oven. Alright, so there you go. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead. I turn off the stove, so I'm going to let this rest while I go ahead and prepare the pan that I'll be putting everything in, and I'll get the cheeses out that I'll need and the tortilla chips. Alright, so I just let it rest. Like I said, you can see it's so pretty and it smells good. So what I've done here is I got me a pan. You can get an aluminum pan, cooking sheet, doesn't matter. It's a cookie sheet. And what I've done is I've just greased it with butter. And I'm going to lay the bombs in here and put it on the stove and put it in the stove. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, I just put it in like a small bowl like this. Okay, and you want medium tortillas. So first, what you want to do first is you want to put down your cheddar cheese. Okay, put down your cheddar cheese in the middle. And this is, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, this is a steak fajita crunch bomb. So basically, you're going to have your tortilla chips. It doesn't matter what kind you get. On top of the cheese. And you see we got just 2 tortilla chips. And I have the cheddar cheese down first. And then I have the tortilla chips. Then next, you want to put your fajita mix in there. See how good that look. Put your fajita mix in there with all your veggies and your peppers and everything. Then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put some Colby Jack on the top. Colby Jack on the top. And we're going to fold this. Okay, so we're going to fold it like that first, and then we're going to fold it like that. Adjust the tortilla chip in there if you need to, and we're going to turn it on the opposite side when we put it in the pan. Now what we're going to do, we got them all done. Just going to put a little cilantro on the top of each one. It calls for fresh cilantro, but I don't have fresh, so I'm gonna just put the dry. And I'm going to put the Colby Jack on top. Just a few little. A little bit of cheese on top. Alright, here we go. And we preheat the oven to 350. That's what we got so far. So we'll let it finish cooking for about 10 to 15 minutes until the you feel the crunch of the tortilla. And depending on your stove, you may need to put more time or less time. All right, you guys, here we go. This is the finished product. I'll cut it open so you can see it. Here goes the Mexican rice and the steak fajita crunch ball bomb. There you go. Look at that. This is the end result. Finished job.